I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Turn me up, kid Spiral.
We're live? Yeah, this would be Humble slags me.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live, and he does the whole intro. But yeah, we're live, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 10, If I Speak podcast. I have a very special guest here in the building today. It's a privilege and an honour. Obviously, I was talking to you off camera there, and I know already that this is like that little warm up of what's to come. But I appreciate you coming on. Before I even introduce you, though, as you can see here, I have a couple of little items here that was given to me by just follow this page here. Old Gal Designs on Instagram. How this came about, so that's this week. What's the gig, right? So I don't really have one this week, and if I do, it's surrounding around the World Cup and all. It's too political. We haven't really got time for that. But basically, I'm going home. Right, Jafar, this other night I'm going home, yeah. And it's in my ma, so I said, let me visit these guys. I haven't been in Brookfield in a long time. Like, so I said, let me go visit my ma. And obviously, I told you what's going on with me there personally. So obviously, I said, let me go back to, people who can give me advice because they've done this for nearly 30 years. And so yeah, I'm going home now. My missus now got no Christmas lights because, as I said to you, this is the Christmas episode. So Christmas lights, and I had to bring them home, but it was in this box.
Yeah.
So I'm carrying this box, and I'm carrying a bag as well because I was in work and I need to get changed. And bleeding. Yeah, so the girl that done this, shout out Charlotte Kerwin, she's sitting in her car now having a smoke, right? So he goes, I'm going to ask her for a lift. No,
you know her?
No, we went to school together, but I don't talk to her like that. You get me? Like, I walk by and say, hi, boy. You get me?
Yeah.
It's like she's just sitting there having a smoke. I said, fuck it, what's she gonna? She's not gonna hit me. She's gonna say no. You get me? Walk up to the car, knock on the window. She gets a flight. Like, she's enjoying her little smoke, right? Yeah, fly out, Charlotte. Wouldn't give me a lift up the road there, would you? She goes, yeah, no problem. So obviously, just out of like, I just said, look, I know she does like designs and prints and stuff. I goes, look, I'll give you a little shout out as a little thank you. Do you get me? I was like, and then she hit me up. She goes, no, if you were serious about that. Do you ever see sometimes when you say something to someone, they're like, oh, I thought you were messing. She's like, nah, look, I'll do little cups and all for you, like t-shirts, pajamas. So she done this little beaker there for my daughter. She has Vinay on it. Now this one here, boys and girls, you see this, yoke? I want to be using this on a podcast, so if you see me with this, just know there's a little bit of liquor in there, yeah? And obviously this little mug here has the If I Speak logo and then Dongo Productions in the back. She gave me 3 of these, yeah, so I'm going to bring one into work while I have my coffee. I don't know where she was at, to be honest. I think probably in an office. And there's a little plaque here as well that she done with all my socials on it there as well. So yeah, just Old Gal Designs. Make sure you give her a follow. Local girl from Brookfield. Support her own and them things there. But yeah, my guest,
what's up, man?
Uncle Jaffa in the building, Jafardis. What's the story with you, bro? How's things?
Man, I'm good. Just, wrapped up because it's cold outside. But sound for having me on a rounded episode 10.
Yeah, of course, bro. Nah, I said, do you know what? Right before we get into it, it's like, we spoke earlier about like, my journey and stuff, and you were asking me some questions, and I think I don't know if I've said it on a podcast before, but I don't think I've said it to you. But the day where I kind of arrived, I felt like, yeah, I'm part of the scene. It was like, because I remember I said to David on his episode, and I said it to you. I think I said it to you before. I never really liked you at the start, yeah, because you were no, I didn't. I was just kind of like, this fella's wearing like I'm used to like lads wearing tracksuits and all, and just caps and scally lads from Talib. I remember you were getting the trim and afros before. You came in, I knew like you did music or whatever, but you came in dungarees, boots and all. I was like, who's this clown think he is? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, but I remember like, a moment where I think, yeah, I've arrived was we were at Walkman's, the podcast kind of show kind of thing, and you came up to me and showed love and said hello. And then I was just like, yeah, like, because someone like you, you've done big things, like, in the music scene, you're one of the goats. And you're making your effort to walk up to me. Sometimes you get people like, but I find in the black community where they're doing bits or whatever, they feel like they're too stush and too proud to go and say hello to someone, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that one I found, I was like, that really touched me, because I was like, nah man, Jafaris, you know what I mean? And obviously I'll be here in the studio and we do chop it up and talk. I was like, yeah man, I feel like I'm around like someone who's great, and and you're a respectful lad as well, so I'm very proud to come here today and chop it up with you, you know what I mean? Like,
and that wasn't even anything deep, man. I just think like I'm literally at home every week watching you make me laugh. So like, I had to be like, yo, like, dap this guy up. Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%, bro. So yeah, how I like to start the podcast is to, you know, I like going back to come to where we are. It literally goes around full circle. So obviously I've done a bit of research on you, bro. Yeah, I was there Googling. I was having me little liquor last night, but I was Wikipedia, you know what I mean? I was Googling away, but you're from Zimbabwe originally, yeah? Obviously I have in my notes here, like obviously if you have any memories of that, if you don't, no problem, but you definitely remember growing up in Tala. So just definitely talk to me about early life, Jafaris.
I don't really remember anything in Zimbabwe too tough, but I came here when I was 6.
Yeah, saying that, yeah.
6 and moved to, Kilnamana?
Yeah.
I was in Kilnamana and we were like sharing a house. So like it was myself, my brother, my dad and my mom. And we were sharing a house with this family. Still remember the woman's name. Her name was Kate. Shout out to Kate.
Shout out Kate.
Yeah, then we moved from there into our own place in Bluebell. You know where Bluebell is?
Yeah.
It was a weird area to live in, but yeah, it was. I mean, everything was normal. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about anything. I was just. We kind of knew a little bit English, so it wasn't like terrible to communicate, but it was just random. Everything was first time seeing all these white people. First time just experiencing anything European or whatever. From there, went to Fair House, and that's when I experienced Tala. You get me? Fair House isn't really Tala.
Yeah, they don't consider themselves Tala, yeah.
But like, I went to school in Oberlin. I had friends from St. Mark's, friends from Brookfield, friends from everywhere. So I was going to all these places, you get me, experiencing Tala. So I was like, I would consider myself a Tala boy, but I don't really rep like a postcode like that. I just know I'm just, you know, I have boys in those ends kind of thing. So Tala was cool. From there, we moved to Newbridge. So I actually did a lot of bouncing around, you get me? Not like, oh, I'm here for like a month and it was just like from Tala straight to Newbridge, you get me? It's just different experiences. But yeah, I don't know. The start is not really exciting, I suppose.
Yeah, no, just on the Tala boy thing,
Yeah.
I like the way you said that, because even me, yeah, I don't consider, you ever see, like, I don't consider myself like a Tala boy, like that. Obviously raised here and stuff like that, but I know what you mean by that. Like, it's more Brookfield for me. Do you get me? That's where I rep kind of thing. But I always say this. You obviously hear about the beast and all this area. I don't want to mention areas because people are sensitive. They think that I'm talking bad about their area. They want my head on a stick. Yeah,
Like
but
they don't have water.
right. But if my son ever grows up to be repping any of these areas, the slap I'll hit this boy. Do you know what I mean? Me and my missus say this all the time. My missus always says to me, her dad, God rest his soul, has always said like she doesn't want Amy to grow up around like Tala, like she's originally from like Ballantyre, Dundrum area, you know what I mean? But now look, I think for me, where you asked me earlier off camera, was I always the funny guy? It's just this area, bro, that going around lads, like Irish lads, and just this is where I picked up all this kind of persona. Do you get me? So it is, and it shaped me as well because we're tough here. Do you get me? Where like I feel like we're like, obviously I'm gonna touch on a couple of things where, like, you know, where music, where you kind of had a block, but with me, I feel like, you know, growing up here, as all the situations that I've been through was because of the, you know, trials and tribulations of growing up in a tough area. Just, you know, I'm solid, bro. You know what I mean? Not to act hard. I know I'm gonna get through it. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's what I find about here.
I would say I'm the opposite. I actually don't think I let Tala shape me too much. Like, obviously being in Fair House is not really experiencing Tala like that, but like being around the boys in like in Brookfield or whatever, it's like the boys are hard. Do you get me? Everyone's hard. Everyone's I'm the guy or whatever. There's a lot of bravado. Do you get me? But I guess in any friend group that I've ever been in, I've always just been the guy in the corner, or the quiet one, or the one who just like will talk about the situation rather than fight about.
Yeah, do you know, I'm on that. I was thinking this the other day, bro, because we're obviously talking about, you know, beefs and stuff like that. I was thinking, now, unless you physically hit me now, I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm just gonna box and, oh mate, yeah, relax, you know what I mean? Let's talk. So I'm more, my mom always says it, in my family, like, it'd be my brothers who are they're on smoke, slap first, then talk. Do you get me? But me, I like rather diffuse situations. I'd rather talk it out. Do you get me? Unless you proper violate, then that's when
I don't
it's
think
heavy.
I've ever really been violated like that. I actually don't think I've ever been in a fight, like an actual like
Yeah,
fist fight.
I haven't been in a fight like a proper fist fight in ages, but I was because sometimes this is why I take down notes sometimes so I can remember what I want to say to my guest, right? So I obviously had John Connors here, yeah, he's a traveller, and I remember this story I wanted to tell him, right? There was like I said about diffusing situations, right? So I'm younger now, Jefferson School, yeah. And this traveller, I won't name it. Remember season I was telling you about season 1, I would have named his name, but obviously I'm not gonna name his name, but I had a friend, Anto Murphy, his name was. Shout out Anto if you're ever watching, yeah. Do you remember in school when you had the cartons of milk?
Yeah.
Right? And obviously you had the race car one and all this blah blah. So this traveller, he's pushing Anto, yeah, he's pushing Anto. Like we're about to go back in, yeah. I don't know, he whipped out 2 cartons of milk, cracked Anto on the head, cracked 2 of them, yeah, bounced off his head, right? Then he pushed me now in school. Now, like I said, I'm not a fighter, I'm not an angry person, whatever. I was a bit of a nerd as well, growing up, like. I just turned around to the guy and goes, leave me alone, right? Or he turned around, I don't know where God came inside me that day. What douche cracked me in the face, yeah? His whole, no, people, it's red as this cup, bro. His whole sort of face was red, right? Now, anytime he sees me, I swear this on my children, bro, yeah? I may not see them ever again if I'm lying. Every time I see him, Jesus, Goody, you're a big old chap. You know, are you in the gym? He remembers that box. Every time he says, are you in the gym? I'm in the gym, you fool. You remember that box? That's why you asked me, I'm in the gym. You clown, you. But yeah, that's just the environment. That's where, like, you if you, like, where you're like, why is this fella always like this? Just where the environment, you know what I mean? Touch on the environment. But, bro, as I was Googling you, yeah, I found something interesting, bro. We actually have something in common, yeah? So you're a February baby, yeah? And so that means, like, so you're 19th February, yeah? So that means you're a Pisces. So I'm 27th. I'm the 27th. And I found something interesting, and this describes you, bro, yeah? When I Googled it, right? So, do you believe in star signs?
Nah, not really.
The Christian thing, is it? No, I don't believe in them either, but I do find them interesting, you know, when you Google.
I won't like, they are interested. It's just I just don't like dig too deep.
No, I don't either, but obviously because I'm a Pisces. But when I kind of research this, I kind of resonate with you because it says this what type of person is a Pisces, right? Pisces. Now sometimes I don't really stutter, so I'll just scratch this, right? Pisces people are known for being emotionally sensitive, gracious, and emotionally aware. Pisces characters are regarded for being among the most sympathetic of the zodiac signs, and they will go to great lengths to ensure happiness of those around them. They're also creative and imaginative. And I found that with you, because obviously when I was, like I said, I spent like 2 hours yesterday researching and just watching your music videos and your style and all that. Like you are imaginative and creative. Did you resonate with that, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was pretty accurate, to be honest. It's weird, like I don't subscribe to it, but then when I read it or someone tells me something,
bro.
I'm like,
yeah.
That's too on the nose. Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, it's fucked. But yeah, come here. Just to start off, right, bro, let's get into it, bro, yeah? So, music, bro. I've spoken to, obviously, Dave. I've spoken to Sappho. His episodes are going to drop this week. Obviously, it's seasonal, so this is all weird. But yeah, Sappho's episode's dropping. And then obviously I spoke to the Costa last episode as well. So a lot of their kind of introduction into music started off in church. Would yours be kind of similar, yeah?
Yeah. So I started music, or should I say caring about music, when I was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 maybe. But not music as in like making music. I was a dancer first.
I have that. I want to skip. I was gonna say that. Yeah, that was interesting. Chat to me about that. The dancing. Chris Brown dancing, or what's the gig? What are you doing? Ballet.
Like,
what's going on?
You ever watch like Step Up, Stomp?
Yeah.
All those, like,
yeah.
That's
Crumping.
Yeah, like it was just hip hop in general. It was all the above. So I was just like, I was obsessed with the beats. Do you get me? I didn't care about lyrics. I just wanted to like dance to the beat. And I used to think, like, when people used to ask me this, I used to be like, oh no, 50 Cent and Lil Wayne is what got me into music. It was really and truly was like Missy Elliott and Busta Rhymes, because those are the type of people that dancers were dancing to. You get me, at the time. And then paying attention after a while to like, oh, what's actually being said on these tracks, and then listening to Missy Elliott's songs and Busta Rhymes songs and watching the videos and how crazy everything was, and then naturally making that transition into like 50 Cent and all that. That was like my little introduction to just my interest in music. But I think church definitely was the place where I started like, all right, let me actually pen something down. And that was from a friend of mine. Shout out to Abraham, wherever he is. Fella disappeared off the face of the earth. I actually don't think I've seen him in like 6 years.
Yeah.
But he got me into music because I kind of just looked up to him.
Yeah.
Like he was my best friend at the time. He was a bit older than me. I just like thought he was the shit. Like, so anything he did, I kind of like followed suit. So he started rapping, started showing me his bars, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me try to do that. So I'd go home saying all sorts of stupid shit on the track, and I got so into it. And I remember my dad hearing me make a song, and he was like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you saying on the track?" kind of thing. Because it was just, I was saying stupid shit. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really part of my vocabulary. It's just what I was listening to is what was coming out. And I remember he just wasn't for the music thing at all. Then one day he was like, "All right, cool. If you're gonna do this, do it, but make it something that your family will listen to and like actually care about, you get me? Or like something that they can just be proud of and not be ashamed that, oh, our son is doing this." So I was like, all right, cool. And then that made me get into this whole like poetry bag where I was like, all right, like what do I actually want to say? Do you get me? And that's when I started listening to people like Eminem, or who was I listening to at the time? It was mostly Eminem, but Eminem was really good at like just putting his words together. Do you get me? And I kind of put the beats to the side and just started writing words, and just anything that was on my heart was coming out, and then naturally started rapping what I was writing down instead of speaking it. And one thing led to another. I met David at a weird time in my life. Shout out to King David.
Yeah, KD. Yeah, before you continue, these two got a weird thing going. I need to get both of you on camera. These two, he was doing this sound check, and he was like, "Yo, bro, Javaz, your voice is soft," and he's licking his lips and all. Like, oh, I don't know what. It's very creepy in here today. But shout out KD, man.
That's
fucking idiot. Go on, bro.
Nah, me and David actually met. Well, I don't know what year we were in school, but we met at the library in Tala. And at this time, I was trying to get close to God. Like, I was really like, because my family obviously grew up in church and stuff, but I veered off, and then, like everyone does. And
yeah, everyone fucks off for a minute.
And
then life gets heavy, then you go back.
Yeah. It wasn't even life getting well, maybe life was getting heavy a little bit, but it wasn't like I was dying or anything. It was just one of those things where it's like what am I? Who am I? Like, what am I trying to do? Do you get me? And God just kept like pressing me to look for Him, and naturally, me and David gravitated towards each other just based on that topic, and we got to know each other based off like our beliefs, but then also kind of connecting on the music as well. And then naturally, we were making songs together. We go to like I remember Demeji's church, and we would just like jam. Just make jams, and like what was it, Smiley would be drumming, Demeji would be on the keys, and we're like gospel rappers, low key. He was a gospel rapper, but I was just like a conscious rapper on a gospel song. Do you get me? But everything, because I was getting I felt like I was really getting close to God. Anything that I was putting into myself was coming out in the music. Do you get me? So it might as well have been gospel. Do you get me? And we just started doing little tours around Ireland, basically just going to different churches, performing. That's how I really got my taste for like performing in front of a crowd. And I think David actually taught me a lot about like crowd interaction and making stuff happen and making the crowd like respond to you and stuff. So it was like a little boot camp for my actual career kind of thing. So yeah, church definitely was the starting point. That was a long-winded way of answering that question.
No, it's perfect, because like I said today, me and Dave, obviously we always talk off camera. And I say this to people as well, that they're always hitting me and say, "Oh, great pod." I'm like, bro, yeah, it's great and all, but you're not good without your guests. Like, you need good speakers. You get me? That's why so many of my best ones that people say, "Oh, that's your best one," it's because the guest is speaking. You get me? Because I'm not here. Because season 1, like, I did make it about me. I always say, "Oh, I wasn't gassed because I got all." I was gassed. Yeah. I was trying to make a big show, and it's not, when you're on this side of it, it's kind of like they want to get to know you. Don't give a rat's about me too tough like that. You get me? So obviously, your debut single, I listened to it yesterday for the first time, because obviously, like I said, I'm not going to go through all your tracks, but I'll just go to the very start, yeah? You make a song called Love Dies. I think you're around 22 when you make that, yeah? And I'm thinking, that's one of the reasons probably where, and I'll admit this, at the time you were about 22, I'm 2 years older than you, I'm 24, I'm injured, we spoke about that off camera, like you asked me about football and stuff. and obviously you're there doing your thing, and there was like bitterness with me I had, not towards you, but it's just like, I knew who you were, you were doing well, and all that type of stuff. And it's like, shit, man, like, I want to be there, do you get me? That's where I'm just angry at the world, angry at people. But that's the start of your career where you're doing your thing, you release that song. What is what was the inspiration behind that song? Because that's pretty heavy for your first kind of song, and 22 to have that kind of mindset, like Love Dies. What do you mean by that? What did you mean by that?
So that's my first song as Jafar's. So prior to that, I was going as Profound, and it was Profound because I thought everything I was saying was deep, and I was like the deepest guy in the world.
Yeah,
whatever.
you are a deep guy though, bro.
But I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I just was hiding behind the word Profound. But Love Dies was, you know what's weird? I don't think I ever said this on camera, but I was in like an 8-year relationship, right? And felt like, yeah, this is it. This is the one. I'm getting married. We're gonna have kids. Like, my family knew hers. Her family knew. It was set. Do you get me? And for about 2 years, I'm sorry, because I don't think I ever said this, but
No, listen, it's if I speak, bro. Open up, bro. Just know, I won't ask you about dads if you open up. But it's been dads, the last bleeding. Please.
For 2 years, and this is the period where I'm like trying to get close to God and stuff like that, and then falling short, all of this stuff. I genuinely felt like God was telling me, like, you need to get out of this relationship, like, as in, like, this isn't it, like, this isn't the one for you. And I kept feeling it, but I was so in love, and I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like, I don't, like, I'm not hearing you, God. Like, it's probably not God speaking. Do you get me? And it just kept pressing, and bro, it was coming out in the music. Like, it was me speaking about how I was really feeling, but not knowing that that's me telling myself that you need to get out of this. Do you get me? Obviously it's a song, so it's glossed off by like, oh, the lyrics or the beat or whatever, but it was really me saying like this isn't it. Do you get me? But yeah, I thought I was in love, and I don't think I really was. I don't think I knew what love was for real. Do you get me? Basically that's what the song was telling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone else will take different things from the song, but that's really what the song was about.
And just on that, bro, like you were in a long term, so was I, and I played out a child out of it as well. And where you think, like, at a certain point, like, especially when I moved out, you think that's it, like, it's gonna progress to marriage and more bleeding kids and all this blah blah blah. And it's like, I never had that, like, God speaking to me, telling me to get out, but it was just, I knew inside that this is not what I want, you know what I mean? Like, and, subsequently, like, and I hope I'm using that word, I don't even know where that came from.
Subsequently.
I hope I'm using that word right. For fuck's sake. So I'm in this relationship now, and I just feel like, yeah, because obviously she's an African girl as well, and she's just everything bonds well. Bleeding killed each other last night. Bro, she turned into Picasso last night, bro. I don't know what's going on, bro. I come, she's trying to paint the house. I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You haven't been to my house. You need to come to my house. Lovely apartment. And she's there painting the gaff, like, thinking she's Michelangelo. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I had a bit of a fit over that. But nah, we had more than over, yeah? And she started giving it the whole, oh, you fucking do it then. You're useless. Because I don't do nothing around that gaff. I'm too tired. But yeah, no, where I'm going with this is, like, yeah, I can resonate with you, bro, where it's just, I got in that relationship when I was 15, do you get me? And I thought I knew what love is, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you grow up and you're just a different person. I want the moon and the stars, and the other person just wants to live like normal. I don't want that. You
don't realize that stuff until way after. You get me? It's like looking in the rear view and be like, oh shit. Okay, that almost like, I can't say she was not a bad person. She was actually amazing, but it's almost like you dodged the bullet. Because yes, it could have been nice in the moment.
She's not nice. She's nice when you dodge the bullet.
No, but it's like, because it's like, how I see it anyways for myself is like, now that we're separate or whatever, it's like we've become ourselves, like we've become who we're supposed to be, or at least we're on our way to becoming who we're supposed to be. Together, we were kids, you get me? Everything we knew together was together. So how I'm processing it is how she's processing it. We're just like learning together, but we're not actually being individuals, do you get me? Now that, like, I look in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I don't even feel like she was being herself 100% because she was trying to fit into what I wanted her to be. Do you get me? And vice versa. Do you get
Yeah,
me? And you're not thinking like that in the moment because you're just, I'm in love, blah blah blah. But really and truly, you're trying, especially as a kid, like you want him to like you, and you want her to like you, so you keep doing the things that they like, even though you don't really want to be like that. Do you get me? But yeah, that's why I say dodgeball, not because of her like personally, but just the whole situation in general. Well,
That's interesting. I appreciate you sharing that, bro. Like I said, you've never said that and stuff. And like I said, if I speak, man, this podcast I was speaking to you earlier, it's just people are probably in them situations right now. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And probably looking for like a way out kind of thing. And you just like you said, just follow your heart in the end, man. And do at the end of the day, you don't want to stagnate in a relationship either. Do you get me? Because a relationship can hold you back. And I always say this to my missus. And my mom said it to me like when she forced, mums just know. Do you know what I mean? And she just said she's gonna bring you good luck. Do you get me? And like I said, I'm sitting right in front of you. I'm sitting in front of you today. And I'm probably not showing up. I'm gassed, I swear to God, no, I am. I'm obviously not gonna bleed. I don't lick anyone's hole or anything like that. But no, I'm gassed. I'm gassed. Like, do you know what I mean? Sitting here with your fathers. I remember being in prison cells and all, bro. You know what I mean? Like doing rubbish, bro. Sitting collecting €100 a week, like a film, man. Do you know what I mean? But like, but she's brought me luck, man. Doing what I'm doing, getting, bleeding next week. You want to see me sue, bro? Oh, we're going to be fresh, man. I'm buzzing for next week. Bleeding, I had Ahmed on the phone with me the other day, just showing love and offering free, tickets to Burn, and I'm able to give it. Obviously, I bought my ticket, and I'm able to give it to my little brother and my little sister, because obviously, no one has €100 this side of Christmas to be going Burna Boy. You know what I mean? Burna Boy, relax, mate. 40 quid last February, where's the 60 quid junk coming from? Where? Because obviously, you're in this field. Where's that? What comes into pricing? Like, how's that work?
You're basically valued based on how many people you can bring to one place. So
Right.
Like, let's say for me, for example, if I sell 400 tickets in the Bun Factory for €10, that's what, like four.
Don't you do the other foundation match? Don't be asking. Don't be looking over here. €10, 400 people.
What? Yeah, I did want to say a wrong thing, but 4,000, that's your asking price as an artist. Do you get me? Like, if you do a show, it's 4,000 or more. Do you get me? That's how much you're valued at. So, I mean, Burna Boy's coming up, so like, that's why he's priced that much.
Yeah, I hear it, bro. Listen, I paid it because I've seen him, Afro Nation. I've seen him in Vicar Street, seen him in the Tree Arena last year as well. So no, it's gonna be a great night, man. I hopefully see everyone there as well. But yeah, bro, just back into you, like your album, yeah. Listen to that as well last night, right? Now I don't want to get into the because obviously people have listened to you or whatever, but there was a bit of a pause, yeah. Like, can you? I know you've touched on it a little bit. I've watched it, and I'll touch into your I Am series, which I really like that as well. Just quick 2 minutes, you answering a few questions. But where was that kind of a block with you, like where you weren't really doing music anymore like that? But I've seen though, I was on Spotify. You have released though. I've seen music that was there. So where's this kind of your stop music thing come from?
So after Stride, I did a lot. Like I did a lot of things musically, even just behind the scenes, like without releasing music. And so like Stride opened a lot of doors. So like I got like a publishing deal off of Stride. I have a relationship with Spotify off of Stride.
Seeing that, that's what I kind of really noticed your name. I seen the Spotify thing.
Then there's like a bunch of people that like I look up to that are now like friendly with me based off of Stride or whatever. So all of that was great. And then having the publishing deal and then going to LA and stuff, I made a tape while I was there. So I dropped that, which was I Love You But I'm in a Bad Mood. But that tape came out during COVID, so it wasn't like properly promoted. There was no like crazy money behind it or anything like that. It was just, we're in lockdown. I had planned to release it. Let me just release it and see what happens, kind of thing. But after I released that, and again, that whole tape was about like my situation with my ex or whatever. So you get me? That was me like reminiscing on the whole situation and just kind of putting a full stop to it. And after that, I was like, what else do I have to say? Do you get me? I don't know what else to say. And I know you can just make songs, and I do make songs that are just like nothing. Like, I'm just chatting shit or I'm just flexing on a track or whatever. But when I drop projects, typically I want it to mean something. I want it to be like a timestamp in my life that's like, oh, that's where I was at. That's what I learned. That's how I am this way now, kind of thing. And I didn't have any of that in my head. You get me? I make songs because I'm addicted to making music, but I'm shooting blanks basically. So I was like, what else? Like, music is. I thank God that I'm blessed with the gift to make music, but that's not all I am. Do you get me? That's not all I have to offer this world. So during lockdown, I was in my room when I was living with my family, and I was just sitting there like what else can I do? Like what? Like I love visuals. I love dance. I love acting. I love all these things. Like what? Who says I have to be an artist just because it's working now? Do you get me? And a lot of people I had conversations about this with were like, nah, bro, you can't take your foot off the gas, and bro, if you stop, they'll forget you and stuff. And that was all fears that I had. It was just like, shit, if I stop, like, well, if all this just like doesn't pick up the same way. Do you get me? I remember watching a TED Talk, and it was this little girl. She's famous for something, but she must have taken 2 years off social media. But in that 2 years, she figured out that like when she came back, she figured out that the market wants something that is unique, and everyone is different. So nobody can be Dongo better than Dongo. Do you get me? Nobody can be Jafaris better than Jafaris. So if I was to leave for 3 years and come back, my thing should be so solid because I'm so me that people are like, oh, I missed that. I missed that because nobody else could fill that hole that only he could fill. Do you get me? So I literally stopped releasing and stuff with that mindset of like, no, I'm gonna figure out who I am more so that when I come back, it can't be like that would be the conversation naturally. Oh, he fell off or whatever, but it's like, fell off to who if I'm me? Do you get me? If I'm the only me, who did I fall off to, kind of thing. So that was one mindset about it. And then also just like, if this music thing is my career and the world shuts down like this, how am I supposed to live? Like, how am I supposed to? I can't do shows, which is where I would get most of my money from. I can't sell merch for real because I need to do the whole manufacturing thing. I can't do anything really if the world is shut down and I'm not Drake. Do you get me? So I was like, all right, what other aspect of music could I get into that I don't necessarily have to leave my house to do and make peas out of? So I started studying like marketing and branding, which is a thing that I feel like it's a big gap here. Do you get me? A lot of people's music is great and all of that, but it's not presented well, it's not packaged well. We don't really have brands that stick out, and I feel like that's literally the missing link between us blowing to the world and just blowing in Ireland. Do you get me? So I just studied that and naturally started when COVID was opening up again. I started working with a bunch of artists, just like on a normal, like, oh, you're my friend, we're friends, let's just sit down, and then the natural conversation would be like, so what are you trying to do? Like, what's your vision? And I think we sat down one time and had a whole like, what's your message and all of that stuff. And by that time when we started working, I must have done that for like 6-7 people already. And it's nothing crazy. It's literally me learning how to understand the brand, and then also the artists themselves learning what they want for their own career. Do you get me? So it was a give and take. But me doing that enough times, I was like, all these things that I'm suggesting are just theories. Do you get me? They're not stuff that I've either seen done or I've done myself. And then it kind of put that battery back in my pack to be like, let me do it for myself. Let me be my own guinea pig. Let me try all these little ideas that I'm giving to all these people, and then naturally they'll see it work for me, and then we can circle back and, you know what I mean, I'll make it a career or something. But and also I just love making music, and I want to share that. So what am I afraid of, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because I think that 2-year break made me scared to start releasing music again, because it's like...
yeah, I was going to ask you that, because there's a lot to unpack there, what you've said. And there's a lot of brilliant things. Like I said to you earlier, like, you know, when people see Dongo, I sat down with your fires, they're going to watch, especially artists. And there's a lot that you said, especially on the brand and so on, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But, you know, what I'll get from you, even listening to your I Am series, do you suffer from a lot of, like... Because how can I listen to you? And this, like I said, it's not me blowing smoke up here. This is a fact. And who am I to critique you with what you've done, what you've achieved at such a young age with your music? But you were very, like, very talented guy that, you know, publishing deals and this, that, and the other. Like, this is, you don't work a job. Like, this is your life. I remember talking to Simba the other day, and Tola Vintage a couple of weeks ago when I seen him on the way to the studio. That's where I spoke about this earlier before the cameras turned on. I want to be in a position where this is what I do. I wake up in the morning, I'm going to record, I'm going to do a shoot, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's the life I want for myself, do you get me? And I don't know, like, I'm not in that position yet, but do you suffer from a lot of, like, you know, self-doubt and fear of failure? Because I get that from you, bro. But you're so, like, you're Jafaris. What's the gig there, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? Me, I'm not even, bro, Monday I'm in work, bro, do you know what I mean? And I'm, in my head, I think I'm the shit. I don't say that straight, flat out. I don't give a ballot. People look at it as arrogance or whatever. In my head, I walk around, I bounce around the deal, bro, do you know what I mean? And I'm nowhere near accomplished what you've done. What's the story behind that, bro?
When I started, it was just fun. It was just bands.
I've heard this from footballers as well.
You know what I mean?
Where, yeah, isn't it because it's nearly like a job to you now, is it? Is that why?
Like, I never wanted it to be a job. I didn't even know it was a thing that could be a job for me. It was just fun, do you get me?
Yeah.
But then you get to that stage, like you're saying, like, oh yeah, I did all these things or whatever, which is great. And I think as I was doing those things, I wasn't in the mindset of like, oh, I hope God I get on this stage, or oh God, please let me. I was just doing stuff, and God was like, okay, here. All these opportunities were coming, but the reality of being in those positions means it's like it's a business now. Do you get me? Like I'm putting all this money to shoot a video, to go to the studio, all these things, and you have a manager and you have a producer, all these people to feed as well. You start sitting down after 1 year of work and realize we didn't actually make money. Do you get me? Like did all these great things and they look amazing in front of everyone's eyes, like perceptive.
I like the way you're saying this. Yeah.
It's not. I'm not actually eating. Do you get me? Like I'm just surviving. Like I'm in that period as an artist where I'm surviving. But that perception is so strong that people treat you as if you're not just surviving, you're like thriving. Do you get me? So everyone will see, oh, Jafar, you're on top, blah blah blah. But I'm still getting the bus home. I'm still on the loose with you, man. Like I'm still living at home with the fam. Do you get me? Like everyone's treating me as if I'm this guy, but I'm not actually this guy. And then I don't necessarily see myself as that guy. Do you get me? Yes, talent aside and stuff, and I do think I'm talented. I do think I'm good at what I do. But in terms of like that self-doubt thing, it's just the self-doubt because I'm comparing myself to how everyone else sees me as well. Do you get me? Not because of how I see myself. Like, yeah, you're talented, you're all these things, but you're not actually where you want to be. You're not where you want to go. But all this praise almost is like a barrier to get through that, because you still have to dress a certain way, you still have to act a certain way, you still have to put cash on the table a certain way so that people don't look at you as if you fell off. Do you get me? It's like a psychological thing. It's a lot of things. And I'm an overthinker, so I really think about all these things a bit too much sometimes. And I think that's why when I came back and wanted to release music again, I had to let people know where I was at mentally. Whether you cared about it or not, it was just like, okay, this was my mindset. This is my mindset now. I could die tomorrow. So all of that stuff that I'm overthinking about doesn't matter. Do you get me? I was given a gift. I was supposed to do this. I have a message. So I'm just going to do it regardless. You get me? And I'm going to stop trying to be Stormzy. I'm going to stop trying to be Drake or Kendrick, because I'm not that yet. Do you get me? And if whatever stage I'm at, I have to act accordingly. Do you get me?
Just on Kendrick, bro. I seen him in Domes a couple of weeks ago. Him and Ness were on the TA talking about something. I think they were comparing you. I think it was you and Hair Squad. It was something like that. And me and Domes went back and he went and listened to Destroy, and he said, you can just hear Kendrick there, yeah? And I went to listen last night as well, and I was like, I could hear that as well. Does that comparison, does it flatter you, or does it like... Because I know you're type of, from talking to you, like you're so about, like, I hear a lot from you is like trying to find who you are, yeah, you're trying to find yourself. So for how I interpret that is like you want to be your own man kind of thing, yeah. Does that flatter you, or is that going to annoy you with the Kendrick comparisons? Because it is there, but it's heavy, and I'm not a music guy like that too tough, but my ears do them work, bro. You know what I mean? I can hear Kendrick, bro.
It was, I say early days, it was flattering because that's who I was listening to a lot. Do you get me? And I think that's my problem. I don't know if it's still my problem, but it was a big problem for me musically is like I'm a chameleon. So like whatever I like to mimic people. Do you get me? Whenever I hear I'm a weirdo. Like when I hear someone say something in a certain tone or a certain frequency, I literally try to say it exactly like that or do it exactly like that. So musically, that just naturally what happens. You get me? With Stride, I don't particularly hear a Kendrick. Maybe in one song I could hear like, oh, that's Kendrick influence, but I do kind of try to like run away from it, or at least I used to try to run away from it. But
There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Because even me, bro, yeah, on football, right? I touched on it on one of the episodes where before training, that's how heavy I was. I'd watch like videos of. I know you don't know football like that, but people that know, David will know, yeah. Robinho, like I used to play as a wing on. He does tricks. That's why I do a lot of tricks, right? But then obviously I was getting hench, and I was lost a bit of pace. I wasn't as quick, but I'm very clever with the ball. So who I loved watching was Steven Gerrard. That's the reason why I started playing centre mid. In America, I wore number 8 because of Stevie G. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with like trying to mimic your game on someone. Because I look at a lot of like players that play my position or whatever, and I try and look obviously then what I have then just marry it together, bottle it up, and then put it out there. So there's actually nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
To be honest, like obviously now, like just being older and understanding a bit more, everyone's gonna get compared to somebody.
Yeah,
you get me? Like there's always anomalies who like sound nothing like anyone else, but then majority of people like you want to. It's like natural for us to be like, oh, he sounds a bit like this person, or he looks a bit like, or he acts a bit like this person. It is what it is. Until you create like your own space, your own lane, and then everyone's like, oh, he sounds like you. Do you get me? Just natural progression.
On your I Am series, because you touched on the branding side, right? And I'm gonna ask you your opinion on this, yeah. I feel like we've seen obviously Cello drop his stuff and stuff, yeah. With how he did it and stuff, going around the schools and how they market it and stuff like that. Do you feel like they're in Ireland when it comes to like that marketing and so branding? Do you feel like they're kind of touching on it a little bit, or do you feel like they still need to improve a little bit more?
No, I feel like people like Cello. I feel like the Gliders.
Gliders, yeah, them too. They're
FA,
with that,
Chamomile Tea, like they're Chamomile Tea, Chamomile Records. They're all doing it. Like it's a thing that I feel like, again, we were talking about it off camera. There's no infrastructure here, yeah, or we're at the very infancy of an infrastructure. So, and thank God for the internet and stuff. All these people I'm mentioning, they've seen it somewhere, and now they're implementing it. You get me? And now that's gonna naturally build the infrastructure because there's people like us watching them do it and being like, oh shit, I didn't know I could do that for myself, or I didn't know I could build a community like this. You get me? And it's just gonna be a natural domino effect.
Yeah, because that's where I'm at now. I know, like, obviously, this isn't like sponsorships around. This is what someone asked me. I said I'll give them a shout out, and they did that for me. But that's kind of the next step for me as well. I spoke to someone that's in marketing. Shout out to Tevin. Tevin is a top guy. He gave me like a lot of pointers on how to. Bro, he gets flown out to Saudi Arabia and all to do business, so it's big. That's what I'm adding to my team, along with obviously Smiley, David that does production. That's going to obviously help me grow even more, because the marketing side, like you said, it is big, bro. How you put yourself out there. Because like I told you, with me, Ness said this to me, where your trajectory went so boom like that, where I'm still learning on the job. Do you know what I mean? I said it to Joel on Joel's episode. I'm not a perfect interviewer. It's just my character, my personality. I'm a natural conversationalist. You know what I mean? I'm using a lot of big words today, bro.
Yeah,
I'm using a lot.
Proud of you.
I don't know why it's like, what? It's you. That's a fact. But I know you're a deep guy. But now I'm just natural. Like, bro, I'll talk to anyone, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the bookies help me with that, where every day you're talking to the same people. You're getting like a lot of mad Irish people going in there. Do you know what I mean? So that shaped me. But that doesn't make me a great interviewer. It's just much my character, my personality that sells a lot. You get me? Where that's where I'm trying to grow with this thing. But I wanted to ask you, right? So obviously you came back, Sirens. I listened to that yesterday as well. Watched the video. What was that feeling like coming back, bro? Because it's like I look at it where, like, I'll ask you this first. Actually, what did you miss like in that period most about music? Like I told you earlier, what I miss about football, if I could go back, it's just the Tuesday and Thursday training with the lads, game day on a Sunday, that winning feeling. That's what, even back in my mind, I'm like, can I still, you know, I'd love to go back to play. Just that's what I missed. You get me?
Yeah,
what did you miss most about like when you took that little bit of a break?
Honestly, I can't even lie. Like, the thing I love most about music is just the process of making the music.
Yes, sir.
Like,
yeah.
And I get a lot of that. You get me? I have a home studio and stuff, so I just make music all the time. So it's not a thing that I missed. I would say I don't know, releasing a song was very nerve-wracking. You get me? Like, especially that particular.
It's a heavy process, bro.
Yeah.
I was down after I finished recording the other day. Because I wanted to say hello to Sappho. Officer was down there recording, and obviously Simba's doing his work on it. It's just repetition. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people obviously, because you're used to this, you're part of this. What goes on in here. But when I have guests that come in here, they're like, when Dave is setting up, they're like, oh, so this is what goes into, like, you know, it's not just sitting on the mic and recording. There's a lot that goes into it. You get me? It is a heavy process making a tune, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But I think that for me, that's the part that comes easy. Yeah, but after the song is done, and how do we get it to the people, and how do we shoot this video, and what's it supposed to look like? What are the colors that follow? That's the part that's like, it's also fun now, but it's still like, it's a lot of pressure. Do you get me? Especially when you've done a little bit and people kind of look at you a certain way. It's like, you can't do any less than what you've been doing. Do you get me? You can't fall short. That's why I was like, oh, dropping this song, I've been holding on to it for 2 years. Oh, is this song even good? Oh, it's so corny, blah, blah. All these things that go through your head, but you do it, and then the people you didn't think would like the song. Do you get me? It's like, what? And they're sharing it, and it's I think that's the part I missed, is seeing the natural reaction towards the art, the music, the video and stuff. Yeah, I think that's the part where I'm like, interesting.
Yeah, the one thing I like about, you know, being a creative, bro, I remember watching Where's Your Head At, and Moses London was on, and he was just talking about, you know, and it encouraged me. It's like, just drop it, man. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about, like, you have to do the work. And I know you won't drop out unless it's like you're a perfectionist. Like, I get, yeah. And, you know, for me, like, when I record a pod, I'll be like, oh, I don't think that was a good episode or whatever, but just drop it and you'll see the reaction. You get me? I remember he's gonna laugh when he sees a smiley. He hates generally the episode I recorded with Gabriel. He doesn't really like that because it was one, like, he kind of as well thought I was gonna come in here and just be funny 24/7. If you watch my lives on my Dongo Productions page, it's these conversations, bro. I was never. Yeah, y'all throwing all joking and all that. What happened on the boys pod was just, I don't know what happened that day, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I never knew it'd lead me to here. So it's like just drop it, man, and don't be worrying, man, because like you said, the process is, and I've seen it, it's heavy. Don't be afraid. This I'm not talking to you now. Who I might give you it. I'm just talking to, like, artists in general, bro. You know what I mean?
Saying that, like, the songs that me and my manager weren't sure about are the songs that did the best.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And the ones they thought, this is gonna slap. They really hit like that.
It's weird.
Yeah, bro, I love your I Am series, bro. Yeah. And one thing, I've already touched on it. I think my brother rang me the other day. And it was like, yo, geez, Goody, you're red hot, man. Obviously, I talked about situation. So what I want to ask you about is when I was watching it, was like, you're not gonna be friends forever. Which I can resonate with that, because I've lost friends. Not just that situation, but it's like, it's mad though, because you do think, like you said, you're going to be at the wedding, we're all going to be at our kids' fucking baptism and this, that and that, and it's just, bro, because even on Snap Memories, even the other day, like, people who I'm friends with, comes up, I'm just like, this is mad, I don't talk to you anymore, do you get me? Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about that, like, where, like, you know, friends, look, obviously don't go into detail, but yeah.
I think, you know, during this whole, like, 2-year break or whatever, life was really lifing, bro. Like, as in, I would say when I was answering that question, it was loosely based on my own situation, but heavily based on the people around me. And
oh, is this why you're laughing? This go- yeah.
It's just mad to see, like, or just experience, like, someone that you felt like, that's my guy. That's my guy. And, like, and it's probably the most pettiest reasons as to why you're not guys anymore. But then that's kind of testament to the fact that it wasn't meant to last forever type thing. You get me?
Yeah.
And, like, you just have to appreciate the little time that you had or whatever, and just keep it moving. I think one thing I had to learn was loving people from a distance. Like, all right, cool, we used to be boys or we used to be close, but I still love you, you get me? Even though, like, we just can't be in the same place or whatever.
I'm at that stage now, bro, right? I look at it like this, yeah. I'm going 30, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Where the time goes. I'm going 30 next year, bro, yeah? 2 kids. Of an opportunity here where it's not just going to be podcasting. I know a lot of fighters that are doing well, and, you know, I have, hopefully, please God, I get this fighter on who's like a big fighter, big following, and that's going to obviously if I get him on, there could be a lot of eyes on me. It's not McGregor before people think it's McGregor. Someone close to him though, right? But so that can be another bag for me because I already know the football side of it. Where I can get back into coaching. I've clowned promoters for how long? I don't know how I've done that for. So that's something that I would look to get into as well. So just different opportunities that I want to do, you know. So I'm on that kind of business bag right now. So you as my friend cannot just be hitting my phone to be going out Friday night and be doing Zuba. Do you get me? Because I went to DND, the last motive there, and I was looking around, I was like, yeah, Ireland's not it anymore. Even it's not it for nights out. It's just no point in going on lives and screaming and shouting, bro. Like I said this already. Like, you know, this drops on Stephen's Day. These are all going out on the first to Vela. It's gonna be UFC 282. Do you know what I mean? I can't then going on live shouting. I'm just not on that anymore. I'm just like literally on focused on doing this, growing, being better. And, you know, to be my friend, we need to kind of like, you know, help me be better. Do you get me? That's where I'm at. And it's not going to be, I'm cutting people off and all that. It's just like, just got away from a distance. You get me?
Yeah.
Don't hit me up like, you know, just to be going out. I'm like you said, you're more than that. So I'm more than a bottle of, even though I love a bottle of Jack, I'm more than that. You know what I mean? Like, I wanna grow really in this thing. And yeah, man, I hear that away from a distant thing, bro. I hear that, bro.
A lot of what made me get to this, I'd say, is for a while, I was, you know, when we, like, because we've talked about this a few times, just that family dynamic and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
I was never, there was a long period in my life where I wasn't really close to my family like that. Like, as
I'm going to get to that. Yeah. I'm going to get to that. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. Yeah.
Like a big disconnect, and then you kind of try to create family outside of your family, do you get me? And me trying to do that with all these people, and obviously making music and getting a bit of clout helps you create some sort of like fake family amongst people who like appreciate you or praise you or whatever. But once I fixed my situation with my family, I stopped trying to appease everyone so much. Do you get me? But then when you become yourself, you start realizing, oh, yeah, we don't really work. If it's not for this little thing here, then there's no real friendship here. Do you get me? It's actually, we were all just gathering here for this one thing. That was it. And then when we go home, I'm not really trying to see you. I'm not really trying to chill you. We don't agree on anything. Do you get me? So yeah, I think fixing that family relationship made me just stop trying to have or be friends with people that weren't really supposed to be in my life for real. Do you get me? But yeah,
and that's okay though. Like that, seeing this thing, bro. Like I said, I came into this, you know, because I'm a person that I love hard, bro. Yeah, like I seen even the other day. I think I spoke about this on the last episode. Like my mom was giving out about like a heavy family situation. I'm like, ma, because you have a good heart, not everyone has your heart. You know what I mean? And she kind of understood. And she's like, yeah, like she just dropped whatever anger that she had. I'm like that as well. Do you get me? And this is not, look, at the end of the day, it's easy to blow your own smoke up here, self-praise, but God knows my heart. My missus knows what I'm like. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know, but you have to have your eyes wide open in this game, this industry that we're in, the scene that we're in, because these men aren't your mates, bro. You know what I mean? I don't, like, you're a cool guy, I respect you, but we're not mates. You get me? There's a lot of mutual respect there. So even in this game here, I don't look at these guys as like friends, because yeah, bro, you get hold quick. Because even me, I could say something mad here and get cancelled. You're gonna want to protect your brand, and that's okay. He's gonna want to protect this, Jamie. But it's the people that you're leaving behind, that you're like, oh, because I'm cool with Jafaris now, I'm cool with Dave, I'm cool with Cello, I'm leaving these men behind. I'm using not my friends anymore. That's not how it works. Just for people that are on the come up, that think, oh yeah, when you're up here now, you start, no, because if something goes left, we'll be all the first ones to leave you quick. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's right.
You touched on family, but this last on your I Am series, bro, yeah, and that's what has you content, bro. But you said something where it made me kind of laugh. You're like, you have a rebellious side. Yeah, so I just want to ask you, like, what's rebellious, Jafaris? Like, what takes you off, or what gets you like moving mad? Because I found that interesting, man. Cause I've always seen you as calm, cool, and collective, bro. But you do have that side to you, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, but that's more towards family, though. I'd say, like.
Bro, that's what I was gonna say, bro. I love my family, and we had a situation last year where I didn't talk to them for ages. Removed everyone off every social. You know, me, ma, cut everyone off. They can be the most toxic people as well. Let's get that in. As much as they love her, whatever, they can be the most toxic. You know what I mean? So I can resonate, bro. I can resonate.
100%. But I think I just rebelled on the, being in an African home and, oh yeah, we want you to do this, but now I want to do this. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Could I go to college? Yeah, cool, I'll go, but I won't actually attend the classes. You get me? I'm just gonna go studio instead, like, little stuff like that. But you know what? When I stopped, what made me stop wanting to be so rebellious? I think it served me being rebellious, because if I wasn't rebellious, then I would have just not done music because my dad didn't want me to do music, or I wouldn't have been in a relationship because I wasn't allowed to be in a relationship. You get me? So I did all those things, experienced life, whatever. But the day I really had to check myself and be like, yo, this rebellious thing, like, how far am I trying to go with it? Was my grandmother died, right? My dad's mom, and I had a trip booked already with my girl to, like, fly out, and because me and my dad weren't really seeing eye to eye, I just, like, obviously I was sad that my grandmother died, but I was just like, nah, I'm not trying to do all this little family function stuff that you're talking about. Even though it was a very deep situation, like somebody just died, you get me? And he basically wanted me to fly out to my country to bury my grandmother with him, right? And I was just like, nah, I already have a flight booked somewhere. And I went. Bro, fast forward maybe like a few months later or something, and then I finally went back to my country and, like, was at the gravestone, and my whole family was there, and I was just there like, yo, like, this is my family. Like, this is like, yeah, me and my dad don't see eye to eye or whatever, but this, like, even just the experience of being in my village and everyone looking at me as the next in line after my dad and stuff, I was like, yo, that little thing that I did, just not showing up or not even sending condolences or not doing any of these things, all that little rebellious moment because I thought I was the guy, this is detrimental. Like, if my dad was to go now and I don't have a relationship with these people, I don't have, like, I can't stand on anything, do you get me? If I'm supposed to be the man of the house or the head of the village now, like, what am I doing, do you get me? And I think those little rebellious things are cool in the moment, but when you start growing up, it's like, what are the pros and cons to this rebellious moment right now, do you get me? Is this just a short-term pleasure thing, and then in the long term you're gonna suffer, or is it the other way around? And I much rather would be a short-term discomfort for long-term pleasure, do you get me?
Yeah.
And yeah, I learned that in that moment, and I don't think I've been quite as rebellious after that, do you get me? Obviously you do little things, but it's nothing as crazy anymore, do you get me? You just have to grow up at some stage.
I hear that, bro, and I'm happy that, like, that's where at the end of the day, that's where you find your happiness, bro. It's your family. And even me, we're at a period where it's Christmas time. I'm looking forward. I think my dad's flying out, bleeding half his bleeding German side over. I love a big family. Like I say, bro, if God busts me and I become a millionaire, bro, I'm gonna have about 5 kids, bro. I'm gonna slap 5 into my bro, yeah. Fly out, man. I love a big family, bro. You know what I mean? And obviously, hopefully these lot start having bleeding kids as well, you know what I mean? And I'm officially an uncle and stuff, and yeah, man, there's nothing more important than family, bro. Like, at the end of the day, even with Christmas, like I hate it for the fact that I might sound like a toy bastard here, but all this fucking people getting out credit union loans and all and killing themselves for Christmas, like, it's not about that for me. For me, it's not about what's under the tree, it's about what's around the tree, bro, 100%. And I'm blessed, there's 6 of us, bro, and the oldest of 6. Every year for the last 29 years, like, you know, like, we've all been around each other, you know what I mean? So, so yeah, man, I'm glad that, like, your family situation is sorted, bro, and I appreciate you sharing that moment with me. Yeah, so coming to the end, bro, and there's a section where I do the meme section. It was actually, the idea came from you when we had that meeting, so I appreciate that. And I watch Madam Joyce's pod, and she kind of has, like, a section where she talks about TL. So I said, you know what can I add to my game? Because I took a little bit of a break as well. And I've added this meme section. But before I get to that, I want to ask you, so going forward for 2023, what's Jafar's 2023 like? Like, what's going on with you in the new year? What's the plans? Collabs, music, tours, shows? What's the gig?
Definitely more music. I'm dropping a bunch of singles. I'm working on an album at the moment. I'm basically trying to gather some of the people in the industry that I just respect and think are good or whatever, and just trying to make an album that's collaborative, because I don't feel like I've ever really done that. Do you get me? Like,
has there been one of them, a collaborative album in Ireland?
There has, like,
who?
I know Alicia dropped a big tape with like a bunch of people. Alicia Ray and Prod Solo does it all the time.
Okay.
So yeah, but I've personally never done that where like I have just a bunch of people writing on a track or producing on the same track kind of thing. So I want to kind of go that direction.
Who would you think that would be a perfect chemistry for you to do that with? What artist?
There's a bunch of people.
But give me one that you'd be like, yeah, let's go, let's rock. Because I'd actually love to see that, you know. Because I've never seen it. Because these people that you've named, no disrespect, I said it to Sappho as well when he came up here. I don't really never really listen to Irish music like that when I was coming into the game. But obviously now that I do this, if I'm going to be critiquing people or whatever, and I want people on, I have to put my ear to the ground. You get me? So I don't really know this. She's probably a big artist. Is she Alicia Ray? I don't know who she is.
Alicia Ray.
Yeah.
No, Alicia Ray.
Do I? Do I know?
Yeah, you do. Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't. But
no, but go on. Anyways, who?
I would say I would love to get in with Lilo. From
oh my God, that would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. Because we early days.
But you know the only problem with that I have with that, bro, that wouldn't come out for about 5 years. The two of you, man, you start to, bro, there's no stone turned, bro, without the two of you, yeah. That would have to be perfect, man. Usually we going for bleeding Grammy for that, man. But yeah, that one, I'd love to see that, bro. Yeah, that'd be sick, man. Yeah.
I'd say if we put a goal on it and put like a purpose behind it, yeah, we'd definitely release it. We'd have to. You get me? But yeah, I think that'd be cool. What else? Next year, I started a business with my brother. It's actually a marketing company. It's called TGE, The Growth Experience. So I'm gonna be working with a bunch of artists, just like on their rollout campaigns, figuring out their branding, social media content, whatever it is, and then obviously. We're in Seda right now. That's myself, David, and Smiley's baby. So just cracking on that, and yeah, just doing more shows. I want to throw a show that's an experience, not just like musically. Like I want there to be art and sounds, and I don't want to speak too much, but yeah, just a lot of things I want to do 2023.
I look forward to that, bro. And then obviously with your. Now that we kind of forged this little relationship, just when you're doing your show, just bust me quick, you know what I mean? Nappies aren't cheap, bro, and detergents, you know what I mean, bro? But come here, into the Justin the Boy section, bro, yeah? And this kind of can go into a bit of a conversation here, so I'm going to ask you this, right? So, this meme here, I found interesting because I know like you'll probably have a good take on this being you're a relationship guy, you've been in a relationship, so. It does not take 5 to 10 years to determine if that's the woman you want to marry. What's your... Cause I have a little take on this myself, bro, yeah? What's your take on that, man? Because I'll start, right? My missus now, there's people getting engaged left, right, and centre. She's now... you know what? The man them that are getting engaged as well, I'm like... There's a lot of unserious candidates that are... You know what I mean? This is like Donald Trump going for president type of candidates that are getting married. And she's now looking at me, bro, 2 years in, I'm like, bro, you're still on trial. You know what I mean? You're still, this isn't West Brom. This is Real Madrid here. You know what I mean, bro? But nah, like I don't want to be, because obviously I've had a kid with another woman, like previous relationship, I've had a kid with her. I don't want to be planting kids all over the shop, bro. You know what I mean? So I want like obviously us to, because we don't know each other yet. Yeah, I know it's heavy that you have a kid, but there's a reason why Tiago's here. Tiago was planted. There's a whole reason behind that. But you know. I want this to be where, you know, I marry you and till death do us part is death do us part. You get me?
Yeah.
I'm not, because obviously moving in together, you know, anyone that's watching us, when you move in with someone, it's different, bro. Do you get me? And everything has happened so fast with me and my missus where, boom, get with each other. 3 months later, she gets pregnant. 5 months later, I'm moving with her. Relax, bro. Pump the brakes at some point. Married. And we're divorced in 4 years? Hardly. Do you get me? So, but what's your take on that?
I feel like there's so many, like, theories and ideas that people have about this. Like, everyone's different. Everyone's perspective is different. So, someone might meet this girl today and tomorrow they're like, yeah, I want to marry this girl. And it works. It just works, yeah? But then you might meet that girl and spend 5 years with her, and then after that 5 years, like, it was never going to work.
Yeah, contract expired, yeah.
For me personally, I do believe in like I believe in the soulmate thing, but I'm also like I need to like I'm like you. I need to know who are you, like what, like I need to see us in situations that I'm like okay, you handle conflict this way, nice.
Yes.
You handle your family this way, nice. Like, you're cool with your friends. Oh, do you drink too much? Nice. All right, cool. You don't, blah. Like, I need to know the important things that are like, when I have kids, I can trust this woman with my life. Do you get me? Until I know that, then yeah, we're just cool. Like, we're just getting to know each other. But I can't rush into that.
Because a lot of people, they want the wedding day, bro. They don't. Marriage is a whole. Because even like I always say this, right? The man them can hit me up at 11 p.m. Say, yeah, Dongo, we're rolling out. Say you have plans, I'll be like, right, I'm going. But you're not telling me I can't go. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm going. Now, this might sound a bit mad, ladies, but I'm going flat out. You know what I mean, right? But your wife now. I remember listening to. Remember Kevin Hart did a madness, he cheated on his wife, and he spoke about it, he's open about it. That's why you said Kendrick's kind of your guy, Kevin Hart's my guy, and I'm so honest and open, is learning from him. So I remember he was on his documentary, and one of his, I think it was Spank, when he went to Vegas and done a madness, and when remember that he got recorded, Spank was like, Kevin rang me at like 1 a.m. and saying, let's fly to Vegas, because that man can just do that. And he was like, brother, I have to check in with my wife. I can't just leave. Do you get me? And I hear that. And I was thinking Habib and Manny, we spoke about that. I was like, your wife and your girlfriend, it's levels, bro. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Do you get me? So there's a lot of things people need to consider like that as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
would you say you treat your woman as if she's going to be your wife?
Oh yeah, 1000%, bro. Like I know I come up here and joke, and I'll just do that just to rattle her and to buzz off girls. Like, girls go mad when I just look poking people, bro. Because I remember a girl hit me up before and was like, do you pre-approve your jokes before you aim before you go? No, I don't. Why do I need to do that? Yeah. This guy that she's met, that you're a funny guy, this is who I've always been. You know what I mean? This is part of my character. I'm not gonna. You asked me earlier. I'm not gonna water myself down because no, hardly. This is not. It's nothing serious. It's just content, bro. You know what I mean? So, bro, we're coming to the end, bro. I want to ask you. There's 2 more questions, then we'll get out of here. Just advice for anyone that's coming up in life that wants to do, like, be a creative or, football, whatever they want to do, bro. What advice you have for them, like, when they're trying to achieve their goals, their dreams?
I think one thing I say to people is just try and understand why you're doing this. Like, because when you talk about music, it's a very judgmental industry, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, he's just in it for the clout, or he's just in it for this. Yeah, he might be. If that's his reason, then he's doing exactly what he was here to do.
Yeah.
So I think just know your why, and also just study the game, like study the industry, not even just the music side of it, because maybe that might come naturally to you, but study, like, okay, what's a publishing deal? What is a record deal? What's a booking agent? Why do I need a booking agent? Like, just study the basics, and then it'll serve you well in the long run. And yeah, just stay true to yourself. Like, even the circles that you find yourself in, just based on how well your music is doing, don't feel like you have to fit in there. Do you get me? If you don't feel like you fit in there, then don't force yourself to fit in there. Like, if you're in the room with, like, all these big people and it just doesn't feel right, then that's not for you. It's cool that everyone acknowledges you, but you don't have to, you get me? You don't have to force yourself into a room. I'd say just that for now. Like, just definitely understand why you're doing it, because then it will guide the direction that you take.
Quickly, bro, just quickly. I forgot one more thing, yeah? It's going to be way past it anyways before when this episode comes out, but I want to ask you, right? Because you had a lot to say about the Black and Irish Awards, yeah? And I didn't necessarily agree with you, right? Yeah. One thing I asked, this is going to be on Sappho's episode that drops this week. You said it was a bit too early for us to be doing something like this. Like, so why do you think it's too early? Because for me, Sappho, he didn't agree either, but for me, I say this, right? When do you start then? Do you get me? Where it's hot right now, the scene, and you've been part of it for a long time, and I don't think it's been as hot as before. Do you get me? And obviously with social media and all that blah blah, I feel like for me personally, it's good to have this, because not just obviously the award, forget the award side of it, where I hear you in especially the community, not the community one, the Blessings one, the one that she voted for, yeah. Jesus, how the fuck do you give an award to an activist of the year where there's 2 other people doing the exact same thing? Great, do you know what I mean? I get that, but why do you feel like it's too early?
I feel like that's just my personal opinion.
First.
I think, like, I'm not God, you get me? So who am I to say when it's too early or when it's not, when it's the right time or where it's not the right time or whatever? But I just think like in the scene, and again, I'm coming from like okay, we're in the music industry, and award shows typically go like this. Do you get me? They typically have people who are in the charts. They typically have people who have made an impact or dropped an album or done something significant to be awarded. So, do you get me? And I'm coming from that aspect because I'm holding us to a very high standard. I want us to reach a very high standard. Whereas with the award show, which is great, it's a celebration, is it? Like, because that's how even Nessa explained it to me. It's a celebration. Everyone's there. It's networking. Great. It's just calling it an award show and trying to make it credible, but then not having enough of a credible pool to pick from. Like, there's only maybe in each category, if we're talking about, if our criteria is impact and consistency and all these things, there's like 3 people in each category, do you get me, that could actually be in the running for an award. But regardless, whether, like, my opinion doesn't mean anything, to be honest. It was just my
I know, hold weight. You're no small boy now. You're Jafari. Hold weight. Those
like,
people are...
I think because
people got horny, bro. You know what I mean?
People got riled up. I don't know, but I just wanted to talk about it because I know everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, I hear it, bro.
You get me? I wanted us to talk about it on camera with our flawed opinions or whatever, because that's what's happening in the scene. Do you get me? So let's just open up the conversation. How is anything going to change or move forward or whatever if everyone's just having their own little conversation?
No, definitely. I agree with you with that. But I just, I don't know. For me, I think it's cool, bro. Just being in a room with everyone that's trying to be excellent, black people, and then, you know, I just feel it's cool, bro.
I'm glad we did talk about it, because even like your take on it and Nessa's take on it has changed my view on it. You get me? It's like, okay, there actually is more pros than cons to doing it. You get me? Yeah. So like my initial thought was like, oh, this doesn't benefit us. This is counterproductive, but it's not. Do you get me? And I wouldn't have known that unless we opened up that topic.
Yeah. Last question, bro. We get out of here. So I do a section where it's one question only. Yeah. So you get to ask me a question, and I have to answer it no matter what it is. So go ahead, bro. Shoot. I know it's gonna be a deep one, cause this guy, bro.
Right, cool. I keep it light.
No, bro. Go deep if you want, man.
It's a would you rather question.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you rather love or be loved? Meaning, if you choose one, you can't experience the other.
Ooh. Yeah, that's an easy one for me, bro. Love, bro.
Yeah.
I'd rather love, because I'm not people's opinion of me, whether it's good or bad. Like, yeah, it's good getting the love and all that, but nah, man. I'm like I said, I'm a person that I love seeing people do well. I love, you know, giving compliments, giving flowers. And I just love to love, bro. Do you get me? I just love that feeling, especially when I'm in like a good mood and all that. I love giving, bro. Do you get me? So feeling love, I don't know, maybe it's not a narcissistic kind of viewpoint of it, but yeah, it's well and good, bro. But like the people, they just love you for what you do or whatever. They don't. Do you get me?
Yeah.
It's a weird one, bro. So I don't really care about being loved, man.
You wouldn't care if your mom couldn't love you back.
Oh, when you go, yeah, that's mad.
Or your daughter or your son.
No, I would. You don't get the experience. That's a techie one. Let me flip it. Let me ask you. What would you?
I would choose the same. I would choose love.
Yeah.
But my reasoning for choosing love is because if it's genuine love, like if you're genuinely showing what the actual meaning of love is supposed to be, you won't notice that it's not coming back to you.
Yeah, no, do you know what? No, I stick with love, because, bro, there's people that I probably do love, bro, that don't like me like that. And it's happened, bro. You get me behind your back, bro. Like I said, I'm blessed to be in a lot of circles, a lot of conversations, and people don't really like each other like that, bro.
Yeah.
They don't. People don't give a rat's about each other like that. But, yeah, that's just the nature of life. But I definitely rather just give love because it is genuine, bro. Do you get me? But yeah, look, Jafaris, like, I appreciate you, man. I hope you and your family have a good Christmas, bro. Like I said, this is gonna be like on Stephen's Day or whatever. So appreciate you coming on. Make sure you follow Old Gal Designs on Instagram. Find any of these things personalized or whatever. And everyone have a good Christmas. I hope you have a good Christmas and a happy New Year.
I prefer
and,
really not to.
Yeah, whatever. Like, share, subscribe. All that bollocks.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Turn me up, kid Spiral.